are really interested and you're brand new, you're not currently a part of Valentus, and you have some questions or would like to know more, what we're going to do at 8 o'clock, we're going to end for those of you who need to leave or wish to leave. And you can then talk to the person who invited you tomorrow or later this evening. And we're going to take about a 10-minute window from 8 to 8:10, and then at 10 after 8, we're going to convene back here again. And for those of you who would like to know more information about the Valentus as a business, we're going to do some short, basic 101 training. And that will go for about an hour or as many questions as you have at the end of the session. Fair enough? Awesome. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to introduce to you our speaker for this evening, and I'll tell you a little bit more about myself later. And we have with us, all the way from the official place is called Jupiter, but not the planet. Jupiter, Florida is our founding distributor, Corey Johnson. And Corey Johnson will tell you a little bit about himself, but he is actually the first original distributor with the company of Valentus with his good friend Dave Jordan, who is our CEO and founder. And Corey has been in the industry for 26 years. And I'll let him tell a little bit about his story, but I met Corey over 10 years ago, briefly in another company, and through a series of mutual friends, we reconnected last year through this company at Valentus. And Corey is an excellent mentor. He knows the company and the industry and the products really well. He knows what's going on in the world in this industry and where you want to be, and he will share that with you. But no stranger to the business, and his second visit to Halifax, and even had the privilege of going to the hot, warm climate of Peggy's Cove last night. And I'll let him share that story with you. But Corey, come on up. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Arlene. Give it up for Arlene the Diamond. Arlene actually walked across stage. We had a global convention in Vancouver a couple weeks ago, and Arlene was there, received her diamond pin, and I looked at her in the back, and we were talking, and I said, you look out of place, and she says, what do you mean? And I said, you don't have your diamond pin on. And she says, well, you don't either. So we have diamond pins, and hers is at her house, and mine's down in Florida. But it's great to be here. How many in the room are looking at us for the very first time? Raise your hands. Okay? So you're looking at us for the first time. You're not involved. How many of you have ever taken a selfie? How many of you wouldn't raise your hand no matter what I say? Okay. I'm going to do this real quick before we get our event started. I'm going to turn around. I'm going to do a selfie with the 80 or so here in the room. And so if you could, just put a big smile on. And let's see, we're missing a couple in the front row up here.
Oh, okay.
1, 2, 3. Okay, that's for corporate purposes. Dave Jordan's the owner of the company. My wife and I are from a very small farm town in North Dakota. Anybody ever been there? North Dakota. We've got one. Normally, it's a rare thing when I'm in audiences and rooms, whether I'm in Calgary or down in California or Texas. Not too many people have really ever been to North Dakota, and not too many people know someone from there. My wife and I were not classmates, but she was 1 year behind me. My graduating class was 27. High school. Hers was 25. We then moved away down to Tennessee for a number of years, and then we moved down to Florida. Anybody ever been to Florida? Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Warmer weather, and that's why we moved there. People say, well, why'd you move to Florida? Because of the weather. Now, I know you guys had a little bit of cold weather, and I'm glad that Mark, last night went to Peggy's Cove. And what a quaint village, right? A neat little area, good place for tourists to go. And we got there, and I didn't really realize it, but I opened the door of her truck, and the wind almost blew the door off. And then I get out, and I'm going, Mark, it's a little cold. You got a parka? We happened to bring this heavy-duty parka. And I understand that's kind of something if you're going to go to Peggy's in the springtime, make sure you bring the parkas, because it's a little cold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take us through a little bit of the PowerPoint presentation, and I think this is the clip. How do I work this thing? Oh, gotcha. All right. Okay, perfect. So before we go any further, in the room, how many have gotten a result on one of our products? Okay, those of you who are guests, kind of keep an eye on it. We're going to have some people during the presentation share just a little bit of what's going on in their lives, and that's why we're here. I actually used to be an electrician. My dad's a plumbing contractor, so I came from a blue-collar background and really discovered by accident the home-based business industry and have been full-time in it now for 26 years. And so the last company resigned, bless you, resigned from the last company. I was there for about 8 years. Product the company had marketed, it was a weight loss coffee. And at about 90 days in, we realized that it didn't work for people. There was nobody getting results, nobody losing any weight. There was no photos before and after. And so we had a tough decision to make, but we resigned from a six-figure check. Actually, checks were about $20,000 a month US. We walked away. God closed the door very solidly. And then for about 2.5 years, we looked around, kind of researched the industry, and got a phone call from a friend of mine, Dave Jordan, says, hey, all along I've been telling you I'm going to start my own company. I'd like you to help me get it off the ground. This was 2 years ago. Okay, so 2 years ago, this month, Dave and I started putting the works together on the company Valentus. Okay, it's actually based in Minnesota. It's a Nevada corporation. Corporate offices will open sometime in the next probably 120 days, about 7 hours south of Winnipeg, Manitoba. That's where the corporate office will be, in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Anybody ever been to South Dakota? Okay. When they went to North Dakota, they all felt really easy. You hit them both. They're kind of the same. A lot of cows and a lot of crops. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about where Valentus is today. This is interesting because we launched with 3 products. Some of you had some samples in the back. One's an energy, kind of a Red Bull replacement. The other's an immune product for immune bolstering and boosting. And the other was a trim product for weight loss and weight reduction in people. Okay, now, we pre-launched kind of softly with no real fanfare whatsoever. And about 6 months in, the month before we launched the Slim Roast Coffee, we did a total volume of $81,000 in total company revenues. Okay? For the next 9 months, or 8 months or so, the company grew anywhere from 10% to about 24% a month to finish out the year, December of 15, at about $590,000 in revenues. So if you think about those numbers, that's a pretty serious growth rate going upward. And then 4 months later, you can see the trend. We just wrapped up April at $2.14 million. Let me give you just something to understand the perspective. Total company volume in March of 15, we have several reps today earning that monthly. What the total volume in March of 15 was. There's reps earning that kind of income today on a monthly scale, okay? Kind of give you an idea. So what was total company volume is now earnings by representatives in the company. So we're projected this month to do somewhere north of 3 million. So what we would call that is pre-momentum. How many in the room have ever been a part of, or you understand the home-based industry a little bit? Okay? timing is really key in the industry. Okay, actually I'm going to move 1 forward, 2 forward, 3, oh, no, I'm going back. Okay, can I go back? I'm sorry. Let's go back. Okay, let's go back 1 actually. Let's go back to that first one. So, as we're going, success in networking, 95%. You've heard stories and heard about these people that are making income and earning a living. It's 95% timing of where the company is in relation to the volume that it's doing and how old it is and so on and so forth. So now is definitely the time, and the people that are involved in the company today have the greatest benefit, almost like backing the clock up 10 years and having maybe an option for Google stock before Google went public, and today it's trading at over $700 a share. Similar to that, except it's direct sales, and we're helping a lot of other people along the way. So timing is really the key in what we're doing, no doubt about it. Let's take a look at the 2 marketplaces. Coffee, right? Coffee is a $47 billion a year industry, $30 billion in the U.S. Tim Hortons, anybody heard of Tim Hortons? Well, this is a little bit like Tim Hortons and Jenny Craig dating and married. This literally is what this is, okay? And so the global weight loss market is $206 billion a year. $206 billion. And we knew that if we had an effective weight loss coffee, believe it or not, I really don't drink coffee. I didn't get into the business and we come up with this product because I needed to lose weight, or I, wanted the story, or because I drink coffee. We launched the coffee because there's no pushback when it comes to sharing coffee. People are open. People have an affinity for it. They drink it already. How many before Valentus Slim Rose in the room? And this is going to be one of the last times I do this, I promise. How many in the room drink coffee before Slim Rose? Raise your hands high. Okay. So about 70% of the room drinks coffee already. So when being introduced a weight loss coffee, there is no pushback. And then you look at the industrialized nations, there's more than 1 billion overweight adults. 60% of the public in Canada and the United States are overweight, 10 or more pounds. 60% of the public. Okay? So what we have is we've got the opportunity, you meld them together, and we've got some pretty serious business potential. Now, coffee is the fastest growing consumer category in North America. Okay? So it's ahead of jams, jelly, spreads, nuts, light bulbs, telephone accessories, yogurt, flour, fragrances, and vitamins. So it's rapidly growing. That was in 2012. Attracting several successful people. So you take a look at the Slim Rose. It's not just coffee, okay? Delicious Italian dark roast. It's non-GMO, pesticide-free, herbicide and chemical-free, very fast-acting. We've got people that say, hey, Mary, meet me for coffee. I've got something I'd like to share with you. And they meet at a coffee shop or a restaurant or whatever, and they order up hot water or maybe a cool water, and they rib and they pour and they stir. And in about 20 minutes, Mary's like, this stuff's really incredible. What is it? Because I feel different. It's interesting what's going on as I'm just sitting here consuming that coffee. And so that's really what it is. Like you feel it immediately. It dramatically, because of the natural herbs in the product, dramatically diminishes the appetite. That's a key. We eat less when we drink it. Reduces the sugar cravings. reduces in the body sugar absorption, burns fat, elevates mood, and promotes mental alertness. Now, we've got a few people in the room that are here that have got some stories, and that you've seen some before and afters locally, and I think it's important. Here's really the important thing. Are people getting results? Does 100% of the world that drink the coffee, do they all get results? I don't know if 100% of them do, but if 70% of them or more are getting results, that to me is a true test. So what we want to do is have a few people stand up. And who do we got for product stories? We've got Marnie, Jen, and Kim. Marnie, Jen, and Kim. If you wouldn't mind, come on up here. Give them a hand. We'll start with Kim first. Is that okay, Kim? Kim. It's okay. We'll let Jen go first. Come on over here, Jen. Now, can you tell Jen's been in Florida? And I actually reached out to her when she was down there with her family. They were at Orlando and riding these water rides, and the kids were having fun. And I said, hey, you coming down to visit us? Nah, we're having too much fun up in Orlando. That's too far. It's okay. I can take a slap in the face, Jen. Arlene's coming down with Mark in a couple weeks. They're coming to visit us. You want your diamond pin?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just...
Hi, I'm Jen. So I was introduced to the products, not as a company first, by actually Marnie. Good friend. She was losing weight, and she finally just said, you need to try these. And I was like, okay. So I have done Weight Watchers before. Weight Watchers works. But it was just really hard. So I started the products. Of course, she told me a little bit that it is a detox. I never drank coffee before, but I wanted the best results, so I took the coffee instead of the trim. However, I did try the trim too, and I really liked that. So I took 1 coffee a day in the morning. I started, and by day 3, I called her and I was like, oh my gosh, like, what is this stuff? Like, I instantly, I mean, I had some detoxing, which I guess I had a lot of detoxing, but you can have some, you know, some side effects at first, but I knew to expect that, so I pushed through that, and I instantly felt a difference in my appetite. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, I just was like, I've done Weight Watchers, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I do not feel hungry like I was before. So from that, I made better choices, because we are both promoting a healthy lifestyle. We're not saying eat garbage. We know none of that stuff probably is good for you. I do eat things I like. But I made better choices, and I just didn't eat as much. And the weight came up slowly, which to me is a healthy way. Like, it was 1 pound, 2 pounds. Some weeks it was, you know, less than 1 pound, but I was very consistent, and I drank a lot of water, which you're supposed to, and I had my coffee every day and took the 7th day off. So from July to December, I lost 48 pounds. And I never exercised. I mean, I'm a busy person. I have 4 kids, so I'm not sitting on the couch. But I didn't go to the gym or anything like that, or go for long walks. And then I started back at the gym in January and lost another 5. So the products work. I'm 39 years old, and like I said, I've been through a lot of journeys with weight loss, and I can't believe I never thought I'd lose this much weight. Let's just say that. So thank you. Go ahead.
Come on over here, because you got an interesting story. You do. The story goes, right? You have a personal story yourself, and you've got some others you've had that you've shared with recently, and you've had a number of them have some pretty remarkable results pretty quickly, right?
Yeah.
Could you share that real quick?
My name is Karen, and I was introduced to Valentus through Fiona. I wasn't a coffee drinker at all, never even tasted it, and I was going to Weight Watchers for like 3 years, and I was stuck. I wanted to get to the goal that I had set myself for, which was another 10 pounds. So Fiona's like, come try this coffee.
Sounds like
coffee. And just go try it. So I was like, oh, okay. So I went and tried it, and I'm like, I don't know. started sharing the results on Facebook. So then I thought, I think I will join. So I became the business builder, and I've been handing examples to everybody. I've had 20 plus people in the last month and a half, and every one of them is seeing results. They see like from 2 pounds to 5 or 10 pounds. They're losing inches and crazy, and everybody's happy. They're happy.
That's awesome. That wasn't so tough, was it, Kim? I say that one of the biggest fears in life is speaking in front of people. It's not that bad, is it? It's over now.
Hello, I'm Marnie. I was the biggest skeptic out there, so I became a business builder because the business plan made sense to me. It looked like a good way to make money. I never drank coffee. I hate coffee, but I was a lifetime Weight Watchers, so I thought if it can make me lose weight, I will drink it. So for 6 weeks, I tested it, and I ate fast food on purpose. I tried to eat chips and chocolate and whatever I shouldn't have to see if it really worked, because I wasn't going to put my name behind something that didn't work. And I lost 12 pounds in 6 weeks. So what happened was I ate less of what I was eating, which made me lose the weight. Plus I was drinking the water like you were supposed to, and it was detoxing and flushing my system. So I'm like, okay, it works. Then I made Jen try, because I wanted someone else I knew that did it to make sure it actually really worked. And her and I always did Weight Watchers together, so if it worked for me and her, then I knew it obviously worked. So I've lost 40 pounds and over 50 inches, and I am still not a coffee drinker. I drink it cold every morning, which is okay because it's like my medicine every morning that I need to drink. I do miss it on my day off, even though I'm not a coffee drinker. It's just because it gives you that like boost of energy, and you kind of have clarity of mind and just can get stuff done. And the way I usually describe it to people, it's like my brain actually started talking to my stomach and saying, "You're full. Stop eating. It's okay." And I didn't crave like sugar and carbs like I used to. And the first time I realized it, we went to Montana's to eat, and I did what I always like to eat, like my favorite meal, and I couldn't finish it. And I was like sitting there, I'm like, I never take a doggy bag home. What is my problem? And I could not finish it. I mean, I could have forced it in, but it was like, because my brain was talking to my stomach, I knew I was full, and that was okay, so I took it home. And it was just kind of like eye-opening, like that it's okay not to eat everything on your plate like your mother made you every night at supper. Like, it's okay to be full. It's okay not to eat like the whole rack of ribs. Like, I mean, it's just okay. And because of that, you lose weight and you shrink. And I mean, I would plateau and not lose weight for weeks and weeks at a time. And we're so trained to the number on the scale, like I need to get to this number and then I know I'm skinny. But then I felt like I was smaller, and I'd measure myself, and I'd lose 6 inches in 3 weeks. But the scale wouldn't change. So it was kind of, you have to kind of change your mindset of what losing weight and becoming healthy is, because the society has us trained to the number, the size, but it's more about, I have a friend that she lost like 20-something pounds, and she still has weight to lose, but she feels so much better. Like, and it's not really about the number, it's about the journey everyone's on. So everyone's different, everyone's going to do it different, but it works, and there's just no getting around that.
And that's, you know, that's a story, 3 of them that we hear very similar everywhere we go. Men, women. The last time we were here 90 days ago, we had Earl in the room. Earl has dropped over 60, 70, 80 pounds. He was on stage in Vancouver sharing the story. Well, when Earl came down last time, Earl brought an old pair of pants and an old shirt with him. He looked like, I mean, he just looks way different than he did similar to Jen and Marnie and everybody here, when you drop 15, 20, 30, 40 pounds, you just look different. And it just feels better, right? So there's stories like that, and you'll see here, that's Harley. He's out in Alberta. Harley's down several inches. And that's what we want people to do. We want people to measure, weigh, and take a before pic before they get started on the Valentus Slim Roast Coffee. So here's Joe. Now the one on the right you can barely see because it's a fairly dark picture, but 307 down to 272. That's what, 35 pounds? There's Karen. Karen's a Florida football fan, as you can see. Day 1, August of 15, and day 90, October 30th, 56 pounds down. There's Earl on the left. He was our guest weight loss story in Alberta last time we had a meeting here back in February, was it? Yep. And here's Mandy. She's out of Indiana. She's 90 pounds down. Just looks way different. Incredible story. Oh, there's a local. She's actually signing autographs like the rest of them later. This one here is really intriguing to me. She's out of the Philippines, and she's wearing the same polo shirt, except she looks way different on the right than the left. I mean, so imagine the health. Maybe she's on other medications, and now maybe not. I mean, just incredible as to what's going on. Oh, there's the other one. Local celebrity, 30 pounds down. And there's Jen. So, impact products, they work pretty quickly. Okay? Feel the difference in 10 minutes, safe for your health. Again, they're all natural, they're diabetic friendly, low sugar, no chemicals, no GMOs, no preservatives. And so there's 4 different products today. There's an energy product, there's an immune, there's a weight management fruit drink, and a weight management food. They really didn't teach you what residual income is. Okay? We were all taught, get some good grades. How many got good grades? Okay? Most of you, you're smart. When I asked that in most rooms, about a 10% hand raise goes up. I'm the guy that got the F's on the report card as a freshman in high school. Okay, I was there for sports and for girls. And 4 F's on my report card. This is before they were computerized. You know the lithograph papers when you brought the report cards home? So I've got these F's on my report card, and I'm trying to figure out how I can make them into a different grade to show my dad. So I'm converting the F's to B's and A's. And it didn't work. Okay? A couple belts later, on the hind end. This is back when parents spanked their kids. Okay? So, not the sharpest knife in the drawer. You don't need to be. You don't need to be a public speaker. You don't have to ever get in front of the room like him here. You don't ever have to do that. Okay? But if you desire to make an extra $500 to $1,000 a week, or desire to help other people, we might have something for you, because the timing here is really, really incredible. So, immediate income replacement, you'll hear about some of those stories in a bit. Leveraged income, retirement income, 6 to 7 figure potential, and it's very inexpensive to join. How many, the thought of owning, say, 20 Tim Horton restaurants, how many would love the idea of, without all the headaches, all the employees, all the leases, all the insurances, and the government red tape, how many would love to own 20 Tim Hortons? We're in the right place. Literally, that's what this is. It doesn't start, you don't own 20 out of the gate. You maybe only own maybe 10% of one. And then as the coffee and the business starts to spread into 40 countries around the world, because that's what we're shipping. We're shipping into 40 markets around the world. out of our facilities in the United States. Okay? And right now, through Health Canada, we're going through our last 6-week process to get fully accredited with Health Canada. So in time, there will be, you go on your website, today it's all in US funds, which is bad when you're buying product, I guess, but it's great if you're making money because you get paid in the US dollar. Okay? How many in the room are actually have made money with Valentus so far? Raise your hands high. Okay, everyone look around. Keep your hands up, please. Those are the people around that are actually earning a little bit of income or commission, and they love U.S. funds. But eventually, when Health Canada gets taken care of, and province by province, we get fully registered, there will be a day when it's Canadian dollar going in and Canadian dollar when you get paid. That'll happen sometime, I'm guessing, in the next 6 months. Right now, it is what it is, and it's a beautiful thing. The American dollar is a great thing right now, okay? So, it is inexpensive to join. Doesn't take much to get started. And really, if you turn around and you start with our Business Builder Pack, the reason people start there, it's $4.99. You start there because the product cost is the least. $4.99 is a U.S. number. It's right around, what, $800 Canadian?
It's a bit less now. With tax and shipping in, it's a little less than 800 Canadian.
So let's just say $7.90 Canadian right now with the dollar exchange rate. About $2 a cup. So that's the cost. So what does it take to get your money back if you were to go share it with others? You can take your product, consume it, sample it, share it, okay? But if you were to go expose it and share the model, the business model with others, it wouldn't take you very many people, and your full money is back from your initial outlay. Okay? The company stands behind 100% minus 10. It's a 90% money back guarantee. If you aren't happy, aren't satisfied, send your product back. Company gives you a refund on the product. So again, the way this comp plan is figured out, and this slide right here, I don't want to confuse you any further, so I'm going to actually change the slide really quickly. We have what we call a binary pay structure. We're going to go into a little bit more training after the break, but the binary pay structure is a left team, right team build, and whenever there's volume, you get paid, okay? And so there's actually 7 ways with the company that we earn pay. Okay, so that one there, yep. So there's 7 ways we get paid. I'm going to cover 6 of them, 5 of them here. So you earn fast starts, and in the back, I hope you can see these. Fast starts right up front, really good income. You have, hold on, reaching in my bag here. So you got your fast starts, you got your legacy coded bonuses that are attainable when you start at the business builder level in the plan. You then are going to earn dual team checks. You're going to earn dual team match. You're also going to have a car bonus anywhere from $400 a month to $3,000 a month. There's about 15 Canadians right now all across the country earning car bonus money towards their cars of choice. And there's another 20 Canadians or almost that are opting to just take the cash payment of half versus going and getting a newer car. So you can pick and choose how you want to do that or what you want to do there. So car bonuses anywhere from $400 a month US to $3,000 a month US dollars. $3,000 US dollars a month gets you what kind of car up here? Motorhome. Okay, so there's some serious money just in the car bonus, but the dual team check matches, you know, the dual team checks themselves, the legacy codes, the fast starts. One of the most lucrative commission structures in the direct sales industry. The direct sales industry itself is a $178 billion industry. Okay? Put that into perspective. Anybody ever heard of the New England Patriots? The National Football League. National Football League last year generated about $11 billion in revenue. The direct sales industry globally generated $180 billion in revenue. So it's a big industry. Okay? So we're one of the fastest growing companies in that industry. And it's good to be with a fast growing company. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to turn around and bring 3 people up that have a little bit of a business story, and that's Arlene, Fiona, and Iana. If you 3 ladies would stand to come to the front, come on. Emeralds and diamonds. And you know, the gals have shared on both of these fronts. We're looking for, next time I come up, which is 90 days from now, we'd like a little bit more male talking and stuff. Sharing just a little bit. Nothing wrong with females. Females are better networkers than men anyway. Okay, they do better at these kinds of businesses. But it'd be nice to have a man come up here. Right, Mark?
You didn't invite me.
You could have. You've made some money looking out there. Next time, we'll have you up here. Okay?
Okay. So I'm Yana, and I got involved with Valentus almost 1 year ago, and Arlene is actually the one who introduced me to it. So the first reason I got connected with Valentus is because I really believed in Arlene. And that's one of the things that I really love about the company is the great support that they have. So you're not really left out on your own. You've got a really great team. But I was excited about it. I've never done anything like this before. But when I heard coffee and weight loss, I just got really excited because I thought, people need to lose weight. People love coffee. This is a no-brainer. Like, this is going to work. And so I didn't do that much research. I just thought it was fantastic. I jumped right in. I sucked in my breath, and I said to my husband, okay, I'm going to buy the business filter kit. He said, this better work. So my first goal was to obviously get back the investment. So the money that I put in for my business builder kit, I wanted to earn that back. So I was able to do that in about 8 weeks of being in the company. And then after that, I wanted, because I loved the coffee and we were using it consistently every month, so I wanted to be able to pay out of my earnings what I was purchasing for myself every month. So I signed up in June, so starting in August, I have done that every month. So I would also say that within the last month, so in April, I made enough money to cover a mortgage payment, my taxes, the insurance, and my utilities. So that's been since last June. And the other amazing thing is that one of my goals was to be able to go part-time with my job. And in June, I'm going from full weeks to 3 days a week. So, pretty exciting.
Hi, my name is Fiona. I was one of Ollie's first joiners also. I was in liaison with Ollie, which was a jewelry company, and we tried several other things afterwards when they closed their doors, and I just kept thinking, I'm just going to keep following Ollie because I know she's going to get it right in the end. So we kept trying different things, and then I joined the coffee. I didn't do too much with the coffee. I liked it. I lost around 15 pounds with it, and then didn't do too much work, and we were concentrating on another company. And I wasn't really getting very far with that, and I kind of didn't believe in it quite as much. And then Corey came in February, and Ollie said, come and listen and hear what he's got to say. He's going to launch Canada. And when he came here and I listened, I sat and thought,
few people who had tried it and lost weight, and I had a couple of girls who had joined. So I decided to get serious. That was end of February, I think you came. And since then, my income has quadrupled, and I too can make a mortgage payment with what I'm earning, and I'm confident. So it was definitely worth it.
And Arlene. So my story is like a little bit different from some, and I was kind of like, I guess like Corey, is that I was introduced to it through actually a friend of Corey, and when they first told me about it, I was like, yeah, I don't drink coffee, I've never had a taste of coffee in my life, and I've lost all the weight I wanted to lose. So I know that's not a lot of people's story, but that was just mine. I had done detoxing 3 years before, lost a lot of weight, and just kept it off. And I was looking for a business opportunity. And as Fiona shared, we were part of together and a few other ladies in this room of a jewelry company called Leah Sophia. And Leah Sophia decided in December of 2014 with 4 weeks notice to close their doors. So just to give you a little of history, to kind of understand for those who don't know me, the importance to me is that when Leah Sophia came, I was first of all on a ground floor opportunity. I was one of the first 50 people to join in Canada. But my only intention was to make $1,000 a month so I could stay home with my little guy who at that time was 4 years old. And I was able to do that, according to their statistics, by going out 1 night a week and selling jewelry to women like this. And I was in health and wellness because that's where I met Corey originally. But back 10 years ago, I found out that a woman could be sold $200 worth of jewelry a lot faster than she could $200 worth of vitamins or minerals. And that's the way it is. We can replace the jewelry, we can't replace our bodies, but people just wanted more jewelry. So you know what? I actually started selling jewelry, and I did. I made $1,000 in that first month, no problem, and I was happy to go out 1 night a week. And 3 months into it, my husband, who had been with the same company for almost 15 years, came home one day, they closed their doors, he had lost his job. So I knew, what did I need to do to make more money? I actually had to go sell more jewelry, so I did. And in 30 days, I replaced his income. So I knew I was capable of actually getting out there and doing something in sales. Even though I had worked in the business as a business analyst and e-commerce person for my career for 12 years, I always had my fingers in a little bit of sales. When I was 13, wanted to buy my own clothes, I went out and sold stuff door to door. That was just something I always did, so I had no problem with the people part of it. So fast forward, Leah Sophia decided to shut their doors. By now, by the way, when I decided, I figured out after 90 days I could replace my husband's income, well, why stop, right? So I kept going, and within 8 months of being on the ground floor opportunity of an opening Canadian company, I was doing a 6-figure income. Fast forward to 5.5 years later, my beautiful 6-figure income was crushed in overnight, right? So I was actually doing really well. I was earning trips around the world. I met people. I had built a team of over 1,200 women, which if you're probably wondering why we have so many women, Corey, that's probably why. So I built a team of over 1,200 women. I did have 2 guys that worked in the jewelry business from Montreal as well, and I had a lot of success. My team was doing over $1 million in sales a month selling jewelry. Not a consumable. It's not something that's going to help you lose weight. It's not going to wake you up in the morning. It's just going to make you sparkle, which, by the way, is really important. So, that's my jewelry story. And I still like jewelry. I'm still learning the jewelry that I sold. But now I can buy jewelry from everybody, so I don't have to just buy it from one company. So that's kind of exciting, but it's for a longer shopping trip from her. Anyway, so I was looking for a business, and I wasn't like a lot of people who jumped into something right away. They really needed to make money. We had put some money away. And I did jump into something the first week, but I knew right away it wasn't, I just couldn't do it. My heart wasn't in it, and it was emotional. And it probably took me 30 days to even cry my first tear. But it wasn't just the loss of income, it was a loss of relationships. And I had helped people go from almost bankruptcy to no bankruptcy, just by selling jewelry and go to people's homes. And I really missed that. I missed the helping people, I missed talking to people, I missed the parties, I missed it all. I had lots of jewelry stuff. So, you know, but I knew I wanted something else, so I did, I tried, and my personal philosophy is never give up. So what I did is I sat with my son, and my son is now almost 12, and he's the reason I started all this. And I knew that if I didn't have a goal, I would never plan something. So my son and I sat down, we went on the internet, we printed a fake $1 million bill. And not because I need to be a millionaire, but for those of you who know me, like I love to give. My love language is giving, and I would give you all $1 million if I had to give it, because that's the type of person I am. But I printed a $1 million bill and I framed it because I had just redid my whole office. I had hired an interior decorator, spent $3 grand, did my entire office, had the latest Via colors, and 30 days later they closed. And it was devastating. And I didn't go in there for 6 months to spend time, but one thing I did do is I had all my boards on the wall, and I had one empty spot. I took a fluorescent green piece of paper, because you can't miss it when you go in a white room, and I put $1 million, and I put 4 things I wanted to do with $1 million. What was important to me, and one, in no particular order, was to become 100% debt-free. Another one was to help pay off my parents' mortgage. Another one was to give to the Ukrainian orphanages, because I've done work there. Another one was to have a my son, and I just put some goals. And even though for 6 months I literally did nothing besides pray and cry, and not get depressed, but just really have a hard time and speaking. I only spoke positive words over myself and positive thoughts. So I would say nothing negative, and I would talk to Fiona a lot, and I would just say, it'll work, something will come, something will work out. And I had 2 offers in the same time, and Valentus was one of them. And I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't jump on board. Yes, I told Fiona, because I promised her to tell her everything, and I told Yana and a few other friends, and I knew that people drank coffee. I got the stats, I did the research, and I knew people need to lose weight. I can tell you in Nova Scotia, 61% by doctor standards are obese. 59% of Canadians are obese by doctor standards. People want to lose weight, men and women, everywhere. So I knew the 2 together made sense, but for me, it honestly didn't seem like it was possible. But I thought, well, if I can get some people trying the product, and they lose weight, and they actually live and don't die, then maybe I'll look at it as real business. I didn't tell them that. And I was the last one to drink it. But I did get my husband coffee, and I started drinking it, but it made me feel good. And I have a lot of energy. You probably all can hear that. And I haven't had a coffee today. And I didn't sleep much last night. But I've always had a lot of energy. But I do drink it now. I used to shoot it. So I put it in a shot glass, add cold water, and hot water with cool and shoot it. That was how I got through it at first. Now I found that I could add some pure cocoa. It has no fat, and I like the taste. But I do like the way it gives me mental clarity, and I can get a lot done. So there's something about the ingredients. I'm a health nut. I'm a cancer survivor twice, the second time holistically. So I wasn't putting anything in my body. And the only thing that caught my attention of all the things you saw there wasn't the coffee, it wasn't the weight loss, it was these 6 letters, NONGMO, non-GMO. That might not mean anything to you, but to me it made a big difference. If that wasn't attached to the product, I would not be here. I would not have sold it. No chemicals, no pesticides. All those things were important to me. So I may not be your typical person, but remember, I'm looking for a business. So I started both businesses, 2 different businesses at the same time. And here's what happened. I put about 1 hour a week into Valentus, consistently 1 hour a week. And I put about 20 hours a week into this other business, consistently about 20 hours a week. And after 6 months, I saw Marnie drop 50 pounds, or 40 pounds. I saw Jen drop 50 pounds. I saw Yana 30. I saw my husband go down 15 pounds. I've seen people losing weight all over the place. And I saw my Valentus income climbing, okay? And meanwhile, I'm doing 1 hour a week, 1 hour a week. And I was making a lot of money, but I was making enough money for a couple of car payments. But it was consistently going for 6 months, going up, doing 1 hour a week. This other company, I'm putting in 20 hours a week. I love it, I love the product, but my income is plateauing and it's not going anywhere. And at one point at Christmas, I'm like, I have to reverse this. I have to do something different. Because at the end of the day, we can't live off of nothing. We still have to live. And yeah, I mean, I could do well within 6 figures, but I needed to make an income to survive and actually, keep my home and things like that. So I decided for 1 month, I would put 20 hours a week into Valentus and put the other business to the side for 30 days. And that's when I gave it. And that was in January. And Corey and I talked, and Corey decided to come in February. So it's not even been 90 days since the last time he was here. We had 28 people in the room, and today at our Lunch and Learn for business builders, we had 28 people in our house for Lunch and Learn. So it was started with, and then we have 3 times as many people here now. My husband and I, in the last 90 days, our income is 5 times what it was 90 days ago. We've been able to promote to Diamond. We had 300 people join our business in March. Over 500 people joined our business worldwide in April. And most of those people, we don't know them personally. They're from over 10 different countries worldwide. why? And all I can say is if you're looking for an opportunity and you don't think you know anybody, it's not who you know, it's who you know through someone who knows someone. You know, Corey never shared this, but Dave Jordan, who founded this company, Dave was a referral that Corey got in another business 20 years ago from a friend. Someone gave a referral. He came in, he was part of Corey's team, and now here's Dave started his own company, and he gave Corey the privilege of being the founding distributor as a thank you for what Corey did to Dave's life. And Dave is his own story. But you know, I could talk forever, because I love to talk, but my story is simply this, is that I did do it for a business, but I know and I watch the product work. So I can say they both work together. So if you're here and you're a business-minded person like me, or product-minded, and you're looking for a business opportunity, I can tell you that I've done the research on the product, on the business. It's solid. We just spent, myself, Marnie, Fiona, and several others just spent an inaugural convention meeting in Vancouver. I've never seen integrity like it, and I've done the research. I had 27 different offers before I settled on Valentus. So it's not like I didn't look at other companies. And I'm telling you from my heart to you, it's solid. I'm not just saying that, and I really believe this is just the tip of the iceberg. And I'd like to share a few numbers with you. You're from Nova Scotia. This is what's in the room. The 20 business builders we had today, 29, is what we have so far in Nova Scotia. Actually, 2 of them came from New Brunswick. And in Newfoundland, we have a couple business builders. You know, people in Newfoundland. In New Brunswick, we have a half a dozen. In PEI, we have 1 or 2. In Quebec, 8.1 million people. We have a half a dozen business builders. There's only 2 diamonds in all of Ontario. I mean, just this East Coast of Canada, the opportunity is huge, not to mention all the different countries around the world. So that's my story. I think that pretty much wraps up where we are. If you have anything else you wanted to add. So that's, if you may have lots of questions, but what we're going to do right now, because I really like to teach my word, it is exactly 8 o'clock. I didn't try to do that good, but that's from the business. You saw some of the product. If you have detailed questions about the products, the ingredients, the comp plan, the person who invited you, get back to them. They can click you through their website and show you. However, what we're going to do right now, out of courtesy to you and the promise of keeping it to the hour, we are going to take a 10-minute break. Some of you need to be somewhere else. Get back again to the person that invited you if you have questions. But you know what? If you want to know a little bit more and a little bit more getting right into it, you can stay. We have this room. We're going to spend about the next hour just going through some basic, what if I do want to join your business? You don't have to already have joined to stay for this. But what if I want to join? Can you tell me how can I share this business with others? What are some of the things that I could do to be part of the business? You're all invited to stay for that, but again, with due respect, if you have to leave, this part is the